Okay, to create a new database, you want to go on Microsoft Access. Go ahead and select blank database. It pops up. You can actually put the name of it. We'll just put test, but make sure you follow the specifications that is assigned in the classroom. Hit the create button. It will open the database up for you at this point. You'll see that the database name is located at the top of the screen. At this case, and you can actually enter and put your data types in at this point, but I don't like doing that. I like to go to the design view, which is the little triangle with the pencil and the ruler. And the reason that I do that is because when you put it in design view right now, your field names go here, and then the actual records will go this way. This is the data view, but if it goes out of the page, then you're scrolling to the side. If you go into the design view, and at this point you have to name your table, so I'll just put computer, hardware, software. I'll put H&S. Make sure you follow the directions and put what's supposed to be in the actual requirements. Supplier table, and I'll say okay, and it makes you put in the name first. But at this point, you'll see here's your primary key right there, the little lock. You can turn that off and on. Also, you can actually edit it in here, and I'll put supplier ID. You can put the next field, supplier name, select your data type. When you use the auto number is automatically generated. So when you use that, it's going to start at 1. You can also specify and use different types of auto numbers, but in this case, this one's going to increment and start at 1. Your short text gives you 255 characters, so I'll just say, because you'll see on the sheet, you'll see the field name and in parentheses next to it, you'll see data type. You could put short text. Supplier, I should have put company name. I'll just put that down there, and you see at this point I can add anything I want. It's very easy to see. It's just like Excel. I can spread them. I can make the fields wider and so forth on this sheet. That's why I like using this over the other one. um, I can put company contact, first name, company contact, first name, short text, and then I'm gonna, you copy, paste, and it makes it a little easier. That's why I like using this one. And again, you want to select your data type. Um, there is different data types. We'll do like state. State tells you that you need to limit the amount of characters. Here's your short text. If you look down under the general tab, you'll see there's information down here. Field size can be set here. You can set your format, your input mask if you want to have all for phone numbers and so forth. You can set that information here and specify what type of information you would like to set in your mask. When you see the dots like this, you got to save it first. I'm going to say no, I'm not going to go in there, but if you see the it's going to open another dialog box. You can say required. You'll see you have drop downs here. If it's required, it means it's mandatory, and that field has to have a value in it in order for that record to save in the table. In this case, I'm going to leave it no, but I can make it mandatory. I can set a default value. For instance, if the state is always going to be Maryland, I can put MD. Every time I create a new record, it'll always put Maryland in there. And that's something that you want to do if you always have something that's normally there. But in this case, we're not going to do that because it can become annoying if you have a lot of information to put in and the information does not stay the same. I know for like insurance providers or insurance companies, they can only write in certain states. If the state that they can only write in is Ohio, then you could put OH there, and that would be a reason that you would use it. You can put a validation rule. Say, for instance, you have an email address. You can also make sure that they have the @ symbol, a period, and the different spaces and so forth. You can set those rules in there. You could put validation text. For instance, if I try to put an email address, I didn't have the @ symbol in there, I can give them a message and say, hey, this email address is not valid. It didn't have an @ symbol in it. And I can change again the zero length. Do you allow zero length? No, then that means it's going to be, I have to put something there. And then these down here gets more so into your advanced on the coding side. You can also do a text alignment, left, right, center, distributed, and I'll just put center. So when I enter that information, it'll always be centered in the field. Normally, if you leave general, nothing happens. And then there's also preferred vendor, data type, and you'll see long text, number, date time, currency. Let's just say date time. Date time, you'll see the different formats here are available, and you can see how you want to specify the date and time. Preferred vendor was a yes, no. And you see I can use hyperlinks, attachments, calculated lookup wizard. If I want to use information from another table or another object, I can use that object. We'll say yes, no. Yes, no is going to give me my preferred. I want to see a checkbox instead of yes, no. So I'm going to change my format to on or off. And I'm going to change my default value to off so that it's never checked. If I put it on, it'll always be checked. Matter of fact, I'm going to change this to on just so you can see. And then text alignment and so forth. So at this point, if I want to make any changes to it, I can add more, I can take them off, I can delete. And it's just like Excel, I can delete things. Hit this little X here, it's going to close it and it will automatically save your table for you. It's going to say, do you want to change the design changes? If I put no, nothing will happen. It'll go back to my default. If I put yes, it's going to save it. And now if I double click that table, you'll see my field names here at the top. They're cut off a little bit from this view, so I can just drag it like Excel until I can view it. And again, that's why I said I always like to go that other method of creating a table instead of this way, because if I'm typing in something and I want to be able to see it, it's more difficult to see it this way. And now you see, now I got the scroll bar and I'm scrolling across the page versus going into the design view and actually seeing that information right here. It's clean and straightforward, and it's a lot easier to view than going to this view and looking at it like this.